Shinobi.
Sharpen your katana, ready your shurikens, and prepare to immerse yourself in the greatest hits of ninja and samurai gaming. Our roundup spans decades of titles across multiple platforms, capturing the evolution of these iconic warriors from their ancient roots to their modern interpretations. These exhilarating and unforgettable games promise to unleash your inner shadow stalker or noble blade master. Now it's time to step into legend. The world of ancient Japan awaits. Let's begin. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, 2019. I recently delved into Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, and it's an experience that truly stands out. Set in Japan's Sengoku era, the game revolves around Wolf, a ninja on a mission of redemption and revenge. The story, while straightforward, is enriched with depth through its environment and side characters. The gameplay is a unique blend of aggressive combat and strategic deflection, focusing on the concept of posture. This approach is a departure from the slow-paced combat typical of Souls-like games, demanding a more proactive and counter-based strategy. Mastering this combat system is crucial, as the game can be punishing but equally rewarding for those who learn from their mistakes. The world of Sekiro is a breathtaking depiction of medieval Japan, filled with stunning architecture and secrets to uncover. The added mobility provided by the grappling hook enhances the exploration experience, showcasing From Software's meticulous attention to detail. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice won several awards, most notably the prestigious Game of the Year award at the Game Awards in 2019.
They know he is coming.
Ghost of Tsushima, 2020. Ghost of Tsushima is a game that masterfully blends historical narrative with exhilarating gameplay. Set during the first Mongolian invasion of Japan, I took on the role of Jin Sakai, a young samurai faced with the daunting task of repelling the Mongolian forces. The game's story is compelling, allowing me to choose between the honorable path of the samurai or the stealthy tactics of the ghost, each with its own unique approach to combat and strategy. Graphically, Ghost of Tsushima is a marvel. The photorealistic design of the game's world is breathtaking, with every detail meticulously crafted to create an immersive experience. The characters are so lifelike, it's easy to forget they're not real actors. The game's use of the guiding wind for navigation and the ability to change the weather with a flute adds a magical touch to the gameplay. Combat in Ghost of Tsushima is fluid and dynamic. Whether engaging in honorable samurai duels or employing the sneaky tactics of the ghost, each battle feels intense and personal. The game's open-world design offers a sense of freedom and exploration, encouraging me to discover the many secrets of Tsushima Island. It's a game that not only entertains but also transports you to another time and place, making you feel like a true warrior in feudal Japan. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Dude, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance is like a wild roller coaster of cyborg ninja madness. Forget sneaking around, this game's all about slicing and dicing with style. You play as Raiden, this badass cyborg who can cut through anything, and I mean anything. The combat? It's intense and super satisfying. You're parrying attacks 1 second and then going full samurai on your enemies the next. The game's got this crazy mechanic where you slow down time and chop enemies into sushi. It's like being in a high-octane action movie. Sure, the story's a bit over the top, but that's part of the charm. It's Metal Gear, but not as you know it. It's louder, brasher, and doesn't take itself too seriously. Yeah, the camera can be a pain sometimes, and the first boss might make you rage quit, but stick with it. The game's a blast once you get the hang of it. It's not just mindless action either. There's some strategy in how you approach fights. All in all, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance is a wild ride that's totally worth it for the adrenaline rush alone. Nioh series. This game is like a wild ride through demon-infested Japan, and it's not for the faint of heart. You're William, a demon-slaying samurai who's all about slicing and dicing through some seriously tough enemies. The combat? It's a beautiful blend of strategy and chaos. You've got to manage your stamina, switch up your stances, and time your attacks just right. The levels are like mazes filled with all sorts of baddies, from sneaky bandits to massive yokai that'll make you sweat. And the bosses? They're epic. Each one's got its own style and will test your skills to the max. But here's the thing, Nioh is tough. Like, really tough. You're gonna die a lot, but each time you'll learn something new. Nioh 2 is where it's at though. It's like Nioh on steroids, refining everything from combat to loot. You can easily sink 100 hours into this beast, especially with the endgamey and DLC content. If you're up for a serious samurai showdown and don't mind a bit of suffering, this game's got you covered. Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden is a revolutionary evolution from its roots as a classic 2D action series on the NES. The transition from the original side-scrolling format to a deeply immersive 3D action experience showcases a remarkable leap in gameplay and technological advancement, redefining the franchise for a new generation of gamers. It's a masterclass in action gaming, blending fast-paced combat with intricate level design. The game's fluidity allows for seamless transitions between attacks, blocks, and counters, complemented by the ability to run along walls, adding a dynamic layer to battles. The game's levels are meticulously designed, offering a variety of environments and challenges. From cityscapes to ice caverns, each area feels distinct and contributes to the game's overall narrative. The platforming elements, reminiscent of Prince of Persia, are well integrated, offering a break from the intense combat. While the game is visually stunning and runs smoothly, it's not without its flaws. The camera struggles to keep up with the fast-paced action, and some late-game design choices can feel unfairly challenging. Additionally, the swimming mechanics feel out of place and disrupt the game's flow. Despite minor shortcomings, it remains a standout title in the genre and a testament to Team Ninja's design prowess. The Messenger, 2018. The Messenger, developed by Sabotage Studio, is a standout indie title that initially presents itself as a nostalgic nod to classic games like Ninja Gaiden, but quickly evolves into something far more inventive. The game starts with a straightforward plot, where you, as a ninja, must deliver an ancient scroll to save your village. However, a few hours in, the game cleverly shifts from a linear platformer to a full-fledged Metroidvania, complete with a stunning 16-bit graphical update and a time-traveling mechanic that adds depth to both the gameplay and narrative. The game's controls are tight and responsive, making the platforming and combat feel precise and satisfying. Upgrades and abilities, like the Cloud Step and Rope Dart, are well integrated, enhancing the gameplay experience. The Messenger also smartly avoids some of the frustrating elements of old-school games, offering well-balanced challenges without overwhelming the player. The writing is clever and self-aware, with humorous character interactions that add to the game's charm. The unique death mechanic, where a demon revives you but at a cost, is both amusing and forgiving, making the game challenging but not frustrating. Shadow Tactics, Blades of the Shogun, 2016. Shadow Tactics, Blades of the Shogun is a masterful blend of stealth, strategy, and storytelling set in feudal Japan. The game excels in its intricate stealth mechanics, where each of the 5 characters possesses unique abilities that are essential for navigating through challenging scenarios. The level design is exceptional, offering varied objectives and environments that keep the gameplay fresh and engaging. The camera controls can be frustrating, often requiring constant adjustment to maintain a clear view of the action. This issue can lead to moments of confusion and unintended mistakes during gameplay. The narrative is a strong point, weaving a tale of honor, duty, and betrayal that is both compelling and emotionally resonant. The characters are well developed, with voice acting that adds depth to their personalities and relationships. Its attention to detail in both gameplay and story makes it a memorable journey through Japan's Edo period. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge is a delightful throwback that captures the essence of classic TMNT arcade action while infusing it with modern sensibilities. The game brilliantly revives the beat-em-up genre, offering a nostalgic yet fresh experience. Its gameplay is tight and responsive, making each character's unique moveset a joy to explore. The levels are well designed, filled with callbacks to the franchise's history, and the boss fights are inventive and fun, except for a slightly underwhelming final showdown. The game's visual style is a vibrant homage to the original TMNT, with a soundtrack that perfectly complements the action. The story mode, while not overly complex, provides enough context to keep you engaged. The game's humor and personality shine through, making it an enjoyable experience for both longtime fans and newcomers to the series. It's a game that's easy to pick up, satisfying to play, and hard to put down, offering hours of fun for players of all ages. Aragami, 2016. Aragami is a stealth game that stays true to its genre, offering a challenging and immersive ninja experience. The game's presentation is stunning, with a beautiful soundtrack and a visually striking protagonist, Aragami, whose design incorporates a unique rune system. This system not only adds to the character's mystique, but also cleverly integrates into the gameplay mechanics. The game's story is straightforward, focusing on a vengeful spirit summoned to exact revenge. The narrative doesn't delve into complexities, but rather keeps the focus on the action. Aragami's abilities, like teleportation and creating shadows, are central to the gameplay, requiring strategic thinking and careful planning. However, Aragami is unforgiving in its stealth approach. Players who prefer a more direct combat style may find the game challenging, as enemies can instantly kill Aragami at close range. The game also has some technical issues and limitations in level design, but these do not significantly detract from the overall experience. Overall, Aragami is a solid choice for fans of old-school stealth games. It offers enough challenge and variety in its gameplay to keep players engaged and rewards those who are willing to embrace its strict stealth mechanics.
Wants it all.
Shadow Warrior 2, 2016. Shadow Warrior 2 is a thrilling blend of humor, action, and loot-driven gameplay. The protagonist, Lo Wang, returns with his signature blend of crass humor and deadly skills, making for an entertaining and often hilarious experience. The game's strength lies in its combat, which is fast-paced and visceral, especially in melee. The ability to precisely dismember enemies with a katana adds a satisfyingly brutal edge to the action. The game's environments are diverse and beautifully rendered, from neon-lit cities to serene Japanese gardens, offering a visually striking backdrop to the carnage. The level design supports both vertical and horizontal exploration, adding depth to the gameplay. One of the game's highlights is its extensive arsenal of over 70 weapons, each with unique characteristics and upgradable abilities. This variety keeps the combat fresh and engaging throughout the game. However, the game does have some repetitive elements, particularly in enemy design and boss battles. Strider. Strider is a high-speed, acrobatic action game that revitalizes a classic video game hero with modern flair. From the outset, you're thrust into the action, controlling Strider Hiryu, a ninja whose fluid and dynamic movements make every slash and acrobatic feat feel seamless and powerful. The game's combat system is a highlight, offering a range of techniques and weapons that expand as you progress, including the ability to reflect bullets, throw knives, and summon an energy eagle. The game's environments, while visually clean and slick, suffer from a lack of variety, often sticking to a futuristic industrial aesthetic that can feel monotonous. However, Strider's vibrant design stands out against these backdrops, adding visual appeal to the gameplay. One of the game's unique features is the cipher system, where Strider's scarf changes color to indicate the active power, adding a strategic layer to combat. The cold cipher, in particular, allows you to freeze enemies, although it can sometimes simplify encounters too much. Boss battles in Strider are enjoyable and require different tactics, adding diversity to the combat experience. Post-game, the challenge modes test your combat and platforming skills, adding replay value. Shinobi 2011. Shinobi for the Nintendo 3DS marks a return of the classic series with a mix of nostalgia and new elements. The game starts strong with impressive artwork and animated cutscenes, introducing Jiro Musashi in a story that spans from feudal Japan to a futuristic setting. Combat variety is a highlight, offering a blend of long and short-range attacks, ninja stars, and magic, though using magic can lower your score. However, the game's setting becomes less engaging as it progresses into the future, with repetitive combat and less inspired level designs. The initial charm wanes, making the gameplay feel monotonous despite its fundamental fun. Boss battles offer variety and challenge, but the overall experience is marred by the lack of enemy diversity. Shinobi on the 3DS is a commendable effort to revive the series, appealing to fans with its challenging gameplay and variety of moves. However, the game's decline in creative level design and repetitive combat prevent it from being a standout title in the hack-and-slash genre. Mark of the Ninja. Mark of the Ninja is a stealth game that stands out for its exceptional blend of artistry and gameplay. Developed by Klei Entertainment, known for their work on Shank, this game brings a fresh perspective to the stealth genre. Set in a 2D world that initially appears Metroidvania-esque, it offers a unique blend of stealth and action. The game's visual style is striking, with animations that zoom in on undetected kills, reminiscent of an animated series. The gameplay is both refreshing and familiar, allowing players to navigate levels with a mix of jumping, grappling, and hiding. The game starts with basic moves, but as you progress and complete objectives, you unlock new abilities that add depth to the gameplay. These abilities range from terrorizing guards to using a cardboard box for stealth, reminiscent of Metal Gear Solid. The scoring system in Mark of the Ninja is noteworthy, rewarding players for both lethal and non-lethal approaches. This flexibility in playstyle is complemented by additional modes like Way of the Ninja, which changes the gameplay dynamics significantly. While the game's story is simple and the animations could use more variety, these aspects do not detract from the overall experience. Mark of the Ninja is not just a standout in downloadable games, but among the best in stealth gaming, offering a compelling experience that is both visually stunning and immensely enjoyable. Katana Zero. Katana Zero is a masterful blend of strategic action and narrative depth. Set in a neon-drenched urban dystopia, the game's protagonist, a gritty urban samurai, wields a versatile set of abilities that make combat both challenging and rewarding. The core mechanic of slowing time transforms the gameplay into a tactical dance, requiring a perfect balance of real-time and slowed attacks. Each level in Katana Zero is thoughtfully designed, offering multiple ways to navigate and defeat enemies. The game's visual style is striking, with a narrative delivered through a visual novel format that adds depth to the protagonist's interactions with other characters. The dialogue system, reminiscent of Telltale games, allows for aggressive or thoughtful responses, adding weight to each decision. The narrative, while not groundbreaking, is supported by an excellent electronic soundtrack that enhances the game's atmosphere. The soundtrack is cleverly integrated into the game world, playing through cassette tapes the protagonist uses before each mission. While the characters may not bring new angles to the genre, they don't detract from the overall experience. Like a Dragon, Ishin. Like a Dragon, Ishin is a captivating spin-off from the Yakuza series, set in the final days of Japan's Edo period. The game successfully transposes the familiar street fighting formula to a historical setting, replacing modern-day weapons with katanas and primitive pistols. While the sub-stories and side activities don't quite reach the heights of other Yakuza games, the combat system, enhanced with a card-augmented feature, keeps the action fresh. The protagonist, Sakamoto Ryoma, is a familiar face from the Yakuza series, and his journey through 1860s Kyoto is both engaging and challenging. The game's Japanese audio with subtitles adds authenticity, though though the period-specific references may require some adjustment for players unfamiliar with Japanese history.
しかもこの世に存在しないはずのもう一人の自分に切られることになるんやからな。
The environment of 19th century Kyoto offers a change of scenery from the bustling streets of modern Tokyo, but some areas lack the vibrancy and appeal of the series' usual settings. The combat, blending swordplay and gunplay, is a highlight, though some styles, like the gunman, can feel inconsistent. Despite some shortcomings in side activities and environmental variety, Like a Dragon, Ishin offers an intriguing look into a pivotal period in Japanese history wrapped in the series' signature action-packed gameplay. It's an enjoyable and interesting addition to the Yakuza franchise, though not an essential one for the series fans.
I remember you. You're Guan Yu.
Wolong Fallen Dynasty. Wolong Fallen Dynasty offers a unique Souls-like experience set in the Three Kingdoms era, blending historical and dark fantasy elements. The game starts with a challenging first boss fight, setting high expectations for its combat mechanics. However, subsequent bosses are relatively easier, making the game more approachable than typical Souls-like titles. The combat system, inspired by Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, focuses on parrying and breaking opponents' stances. It's streamlined, with a generous timing window for deflecting attacks, making combat accessible yet thrilling. The spirit gauge, which increases or decreases based on actions, adds a strategic layer to battles, balancing offense and defense. The game's environment, while beautifully capturing 19th century Kyoto, has areas that lack vibrancy. AI companions assist in battles, easing the challenge and allowing for co-op play. The level design, though not as intricate as in Nioh, offers vertical exploration and encourages strategic approaches to combat. Wolong has a morale rank system, comparing your strength to enemies, and a traditional progression system for leveling up. Trek to Yomi. Trek to Yomi is a visually stunning homage to Akira Kurosawa's samurai films, capturing feudal Japan's essence with a grainy black and white filter. The game's visual composition is breathtaking, with each frame resembling a classic painting. However, its combat system falls short, lacking the satisfying impact and fluidity expected in a samurai action game. The protagonist, Hiroki, wields a katana in combat that feels formulaic and underwhelming, with stilted animations and a lack of weight in swordplay. While the game excels in its cinematic presentation, the gameplay mechanics, including combat and puzzles, don't match the visual artistry. Trek to Yomi is a beautiful game to behold, but ultimately fails to deliver a compelling gameplay experience. Mini Ninjas. Mini Ninjas is a charming and visually appealing game that offers a playful and innocent adventure, contrasting sharply with the more violent themes of IO Interactive's other titles. Set in a beautifully crafted cartoon world, the game allows players to embody different ninja characters, each with unique abilities, though they largely feel similar in gameplay. The combat is straightforward, often devolving into random button mashing, and the boss fights are reduced to unsatisfying quick-time events. Despite these gameplay shortcomings, Mini Ninjas excels in its mini activities and exploration, allowing players to engage in various non-violent tasks like flower picking, rowing, and fishing. These activities, along with the game's overall style, embody a sense of charm and whimsy. Naruto to Boruto. Shinobi Striker. Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker is a unique addition to the Naruto game series, offering an open arena fighting experience with a strong emphasis on traversal. Set between the events of Naruto Shippuden and Boruto, the next generation, players can create their own avatar or play as iconic characters from the series. The combat is dynamic, allowing players to run on walls and water, jump with wire kunai, and use the environment strategically. The game features 4 roles: attack, range, defense, and heal, each with distinct weapons, skills, and ultimate abilities. While the game excels in customization and combat variety, it is marred by some glitches and a lack of a coherent story in its VR missions. The online component is robust, though matchmaking can be uneven. Overall, Shinobi Striker is a fast-paced and enjoyable game that captures the essence of the Naruto universe, offering extensive customization and a fresh take on the franchise. Mystical Ninja, starring Gomen. Mystical Ninja, starring Gomen for the N64 is a unique blend of exploration-based action and RPG elements, reminiscent of the Zelda series but with its own distinct wacky charm. The game is set in a polygonal 3D world where players explore ancient towns, haunted castles, and bamboo groves, solving puzzles to progress. The gameplay is mainly platform jumping and exploration, enriched with RPG elements like talking to NPCs and shopping for power-ups. The game's humor is a standout feature, never taking itself seriously, whether in conversations with quirky characters or in over-the-top scenarios like battling mechanical armies in a giant robot. The ability to switch between characters, each with unique abilities, adds depth to the gameplay. However, the game suffers from technical issues like slowdown and awkward camera angles, and some enemy designs lack originality. The music is memorable, featuring Japanese shamisen and pop tunes that change with the surroundings. Cyber Shadow. Cyber Shadow is a retro-inspired action game that successfully captures the essence of 80s ninja cool, blending elements from classics like Ninja Gaiden with modern design sensibilities. The game's 8-bit aesthetic is complemented by its challenging gameplay, reminiscent of titles like The Messenger and Castlevania. The level design is intricate, with hidden pathways and boss battles that evoke a sense of nostalgia. The game starts off with basic combat mechanics, gradually introducing new powers like ninja stars, fireballs, and dashing, which add depth to the gameplay. Checkpoint placement is clever, breaking up the game into manageable sections and encouraging experimentation without punishing failure. While the game excels in its action and level design, it suffers from a slow start and some combat elements that feel underdeveloped, like the parry ability. The knockback mechanic can lead to frustrating deaths, but this is balanced by the game's overall fairness and clever enemy design. Sifu. Sifu is a challenging single-player brawler that tests your patience but rewards you with the satisfaction of mastering virtual kung fu. Set in a world inspired by martial arts movies, the game's protagonist seeks revenge against the kung fu masters responsible for their father's murder. The combat is intense and focused on action, with a unique aging mechanic where the protagonist ages with each death, adding a strategic layer to gameplay. The game's levels are well designed, offering a mix of platforming and combat, with each boss fight requiring careful strategy and skill. The checkpoint system is forgiving, encouraging players to experiment with different approaches. While the story is somewhat disappointing, the experience of mastering Sifu's combat is rewarding in itself. The game's visual style and level design are impressive, creating an immersive world that draws you in. Ninja Blade 2009. Ninja Blade is an action-packed game that doesn't take itself too seriously, offering a blend of over-the-top scenarios and stylish combat. The protagonist, Ken, performs acrobatic feats that are both ludicrous and thrilling, making for an entertaining experience. The game is filled with quick-time events, which, while visually impressive, can become tedious due to their frequency. Combat in Ninja Blade is a straightforward affair, focusing on button mashing with various weapons against a host of mutated enemies. The combat system isn't particularly deep, but it delivers a satisfying sense of impact and flashy visual effects. The game doesn't pose a significant challenge, and players might find themselves not exploring the full range of available moves. Despite its lack of originality, Ninja Blade compensates with a fast-paced and enthusiastic approach to action. The game moves quickly from one scenario to the next, featuring numerous boss fights and reveling in cinematic excess. The boss encounters are a mix of fun and repetitive, with some requiring patience rather than skill. Overall, Ninja Blade provides a good amount of entertainment with its panache and lunacy. Shinobi III: Return of the Ninja Master, 1993. Shinobi III: Return of the Ninja Master is a standout title in the Genesis library, offering an exhilarating adventure that showcases the essence of a ninja. The game features Joe Musashi, a ninja at his peak, who embarks on a mission to thwart the resurgence of the Nioh Z organization. The gameplay is a side-scrolling blitzkrieg, requiring players to master a variety of ninja techniques and utilize them with precision and timing. The level design is strategic, demanding more than just mindless action, and the game rewards skillful play with a sense of empowerment. Visually, Shinobi III impresses with detailed environments and a dynamic soundtrack that enhances the atmosphere. The game's commitment to quality is evident in its challenging yet rewarding gameplay. Players can feel like a true shinobi, seamlessly taking down enemies and navigating through diverse levels. The game's development history, involving a complete overhaul, speaks to Sega's dedication to delivering a top-notch experience. Shinobi III: Return of the Ninja Master is not just a game, but an embodiment of commitment and quality, offering players an action-packed journey that remains a memorable part of Sega's legacy. Ninja: Shadow of Darkness, 1998. Though unremarkable visually, Ninja: Shadow of Darkness compensates with moody atmosphere and challenging gameplay. You guide a nameless ninja through dark forests and haunted temples brimming with spiders, demons, and shambling corpses. Combat is fast and relentless as you punch, kick, and cast spells against persistent foes. The labyrinthine levels demand mastery of jumping and trap avoidance. With no checkpoints, death sends you far back, making progression an arduous ordeal. Yet the daunting challenge scratches a retro itch in this flawed but unique 1998 ninja action game. Fans of Ninja Gaiden's difficulty should investigate, but most players may find it too punitive. Shadow of the Ninja, 1990. Shadow of the Ninja for the NES, released in 1991, is a classic run-and-gun platformer game that lets players control either Hayate or Kaidi to overthrow the evil Emperor Garuda. The game spans 5 levels, each with its own set of enemies and bosses, requiring strategic gameplay to maintain health levels. While the game offers a katana and other weapons like a kusarigama and shuriken stars, its gameplay doesn't bring anything new to the genre. Graphically, it's unimpressive for its era, but the soundtrack is a redeeming feature with catchy tunes. The co-op 2-player mode adds some appeal, but overall, the game lacks inspiration and originality. It's a decent challenge in the traditional NES style, but it doesn't stand out among other titles in the genre. Shinobido: Way of the Ninja, 2005. Shinobido is a stealth-based action game that's set in ancient Japan. The game follows the adventures of a lone ninja, Crow, who wakes up with amnesia and discovers his soul trapped in stones scattered across the land. The game features a 3-pronged story approach, allowing players to choose missions from 3 feudal lords, impacting the power dynamics in the war-torn land of Utakata, while the game boasts a variety of mission types, including assassination and thievery. Crow's ninja abilities, such as grappling and wall running, add to the stealth gameplay, but the controls feel loose and imprecise, often leading to frustrating encounters with enemies. The game's stealth mechanics are crucial, as direct combat can quickly become overwhelming. Shinobido: Way of the Ninja requires patience and perseverance from players due to its trial-and-error gameplay and control issues. Despite its unique story and setting, the game struggles to deliver a consistently enjoyable stealth experience. Sword of the Samurai. Sword of the Samurai, a PC game set in feudal Japan, impresses with its depth and dedication to its setting. The game offers a profound sense of immersion, allowing players to truly embody the character of a samurai warrior through a wide range of choices and strategic decision-making. The game begins with a map of Japan divided into provinces, each represented by different symbols indicating honor, military might, dueling skill, and land. Players must navigate this complex world, making decisions that impact their journey. The game's interface, though initially confusing, reveals a rich and intricate gameplay experience as players delve deeper. The choice of province and difficulty level, represented by different swords, adds to the game's strategic depth. Sword of the Samurai stands out for its commitment to creating an authentic and engaging samurai experience. Samurai Showdown 2019. The original Samurai Showdown games, first introduced in the early 1990s, are renowned for pioneering the weapon-based fighting genre in arcade and console gaming. They set themselves apart with a unique blend of traditional Japanese aesthetics, historical characters, and a focus on timing and tactical gameplay over complex combos. The game successfully modernizes the classic fighting series with a focus on methodical, footsies-based 2D duels. The game emphasizes careful positioning, reading the opponent, and punishing mistakes, rather than complex combos or frame traps. This simplicity appeals to both newcomers and veterans, striking a balance between accessibility and depth. The combat is based on 4 buttons, each with a logical function, and the game incorporates mind games at every turn, rewarding good reads and punishing mistakes more significantly than in other fighters. The Rage Gauge, a returning feature, adds depth by increasing attack strength and enabling super moves. However, the lack of a timer for the Rage Gauge can lead to missed opportunities. Disarmed combat introduces an interesting dynamic, though the controls can feel imprecise. The cast of 16 characters is diverse and brimming with personality, enhancing the game's appeal. While the story mode is outdated and the loading times are long, the core gameplay shines with high-stakes duels and deep mechanics. Way of the Samurai. Way of the Samurai is a unique Ronin simulator that, while not as polished as its ninja-themed predecessor Tenchu, offers a compelling open-ended world and storyline. Set in feudal Japan, the game allows players to shape their protagonist's personality and path, with a variety of consequences based on their choices. The combat system, reminiscent of Bushido Blade, evolves as players learn new techniques and collect different weapons, adding depth to the gameplay. However, the game faces issues with graphics and camera control, and the combat can feel slow and clumsy initially. The small game world is packed with events, making it feel larger and more dynamic. The game's structure encourages multiple playthroughs to explore different plot forks and character rankings. Way of the Samurai may not be a blockbuster, but it's a well-made game with a low profile, appealing to those who enjoy exploring different story outcomes and character development in a samurai setting. Afro Samurai. Afro Samurai, the game, is based on the popular anime series of the same name, known for its unique blend of Japanese culture and hip-hop influence. The anime features the voice of Samuel L. Jackson and is acclaimed for its stylish animation and compelling narrative. It follows the story of Afro Samurai, who seeks revenge for his father's death in a futuristic, yet feudal Japan. Afro Samurai is a visually stunning and gory action game that, despite its flaws, delivers a satisfyingly brutal experience. The game's protagonist, Afro Samurai, embarks on a revenge tale, enhanced by a fantastic hip-hop soundtrack and energetic voice acting, including Samuel L. Jackson.
Afro! Did I wake you, motherfucker?
The combat is the highlight, combining traditional button mashing with a focus mode that allows for dramatic, slow-motion dismemberment. However, the game struggles with clumsy platforming and pacing inconsistencies, which hinder its potential. The combat, while exhilarating, can't fully compensate for the tedious platforming sections and inconsistent pacing. Despite these issues, Afro Samurai captivates with its artistic style and pulsing soundtrack, making it an appealing, albeit flawed, action game.
What kind of man calls his son Afro Samurai anyways? Name like that, you know his life story is not going to be a happy one.
Muramasa, the Demon Blade. Muramasa, the Demon Blade for the Wii is a visually stunning 2D action RPG that captivates with its artistic beauty and engaging gameplay. The game's visual presentation is breathtaking, making it one of the most artistically beautiful games of its generation. It features a mix of RPG elements and purebred action, with 2 main characters, Momohime and Kisuke, each offering a distinct storyline. The game follows a classic kabuki style, blending drama and rhythmic, flowing swordplay for storytelling. While the game's level design and world traversal are less varied compared to other games in its genre, The core design centers on a formula perfected by titles like Super Metroid and Castlevania, Symphony of the Night. The game's pacing is well balanced, with regular rewards and new discoveries keeping the gameplay fresh. The combat is simple yet addictive, and the blade system adds depth to the RPG elements. Samurai Jack Battle Through Time. Samurai Jack Battle Through Time is a game that captures the essence of the beloved animated series, offering a nostalgic journey for fans. The game features the iconic character Samurai Jack, voiced by Phil LaMarr, and includes other familiar characters from the show. The gameplay is a mix of hack-and-slash action and platforming, with a combat system that allows for a variety of moves and combos. The game's story extends the epic conclusion of the series' 5th season, providing a new narrative that fans will appreciate. While the game's combat can be enjoyable, it is criticized for being somewhat repetitive and lacking depth. The visual presentation is faithful to the series, with a style that mimics the show's animation. The game's level design and boss battles are highlights, offering challenging and engaging encounters. Genji, Dawn of the Samurai. Genji, Dawn of the Samurai is a visually impressive action game that draws inspiration from Capcom's Onimusha series, offering a similar blend of Japanese mythology and flashy combat. Set in late 13th century Japan, the game revolves around the Heishi family's quest for power, using magical stones called Amahagan. Players take on the role of Yoshitsune, a young warrior with his own Amahagan, embarking on a journey to end the Heishi's tyrannical rule. The game features satisfying combat with 2 distinct characters, Yoshitsune and Benkei, each offering unique fighting styles and abilities. While the combat is enjoyable, the game's pacing is frequently interrupted by cutscenes, which can impede gameplay flow.
来たわね。約束通り相手してあげようかしら。
The story, although it carries a mythical theme, is not particularly compelling and concludes abruptly, leaving players wanting more. Total War, Shogun II. Shogun II is a triumphant return to form for the Total War series after the grand but flawed Empire and Napoleon titles. Focusing on the vivid Sengoku period of feudal Japan, Creative Assembly have crafted a strategy epic brimming with intricate depth and improved AI. From the lush cherry blossom trees to the thundering cavalry charges, Shogun II is atmospheric and beautiful. Yet behind the aesthetic is hardcore tactical gameplay that demands mastery. Managing your clan, building castles, conducting diplomacy, and fighting spectacular real-time battles makes for thrilling and cerebral gameplay. With limitless ways to conquer the islands and unify Japan for your chosen clan, no 2 campaigns are ever the same. Polished, focused, and consistently engrossing, Shogun II demonstrates Creative Assembly at the height of their powers. This is Total War, perfected for veterans and an excellent entry point for newcomers seeking a world-class strategy challenge. Bushido Blade, 1997. Bushido Blade is a game that revolutionizes the fighting genre with its unique and realistic approach. Abandoning traditional life meters and combos, it offers a more straightforward and brutally honest combat experience. The game's graphics, while not the sharpest, are detailed and smooth, running at a consistent 30 frames per second. The soundtrack, blending traditional Japanese instruments with modern rhythms, complements the game's aesthetic perfectly. The game's standout feature is its continuous fighting environment, allowing players to move seamlessly through diverse settings while battling. Players can choose from 6 samurai warriors and a variety of classical weapons, each requiring different strategies. The combat system, focusing on high, middle, and low stances, is both complex and rewarding. The most radical aspect of Bushido Blade is its one-hit kill mechanic, making each match a tense and strategic affair. The game also offers innovative features like a first-person battle mode and seasonal changes in environments. Bushido Blade is a breath of fresh air in the fighting game genre, offering a serious and classy combat experience that will appeal to hardcore fans looking for something different and more realistic. Tenchu, Stealth Assassins, 1998. Tenchu, Stealth Assassins is a groundbreaking title that redefines the stealth genre with its unique ninja simulation gameplay. Set in a beautifully realized feudal Japan, the game challenges players to embody the true essence of a ninja, operating quietly, unseen, with cunning intelligence and speed. The game's open-ended levels provide only guidelines, leaving players to rely on their instincts to navigate through missions, which adds a layer of realism and challenge. Equipped with an arsenal of tools like grappling hooks, shurikens, and smoke bombs, players must carefully plan their moves to execute missions successfully. The game's emphasis on stealth over brute force sets it apart from other titles of its time, offering a more thoughtful and strategic approach to combat. While the game can be frustratingly difficult at times, with camera controls that may hinder the experience, its immersive gameplay and unique concept make it a standout title on the PlayStation. Kenshi. Kenshi is a game that stands out for its unique blend of squad-based RPG and base-building elements, set in a vast, open-world environment. The game challenges players with its survival mechanics, where starting as a weak character in a harsh world, you must navigate dangers and gradually build strength and resources. The world of Kenshi is richly detailed, offering diverse biomes and a sense of desolation that adds to the game's immersive experience. However, the game's cities can feel somewhat empty and repetitive, lacking in diversity and activities. The gameplay in Kenshi is varied and rewarding, allowing players to manage a combat squad or build and automate a base, akin to a mini Factorio experience. The game's strength lies in its ability to blend these two gameplay styles seamlessly. The character development is deep, with a grind that feels rewarding as players train their squad to become formidable warriors or efficient base managers.